Please bear with the background noise of the fan. I tried filming without it, but I cannot go without the fan. I'm sorry. Hey guys, welcome back to the magical world of bookwords. My name is Renuka and welcome to yet another video on my channel. So what is today's video about? As you must have guessed from the title, today's video is about the books that I'm currently reading. Now, I'm not reading one book at a time, I'm reading more than one book at a time. And I know that I'm not the only person on this planet Earth who does it. There are a lot of people who do the same thing and they like to read more than one book at a time. And when I was not a reader, when I was not a big fan of reading, I used to think that how do these people manage to read so many books at a time? 2, 3, 4 books at a time. I have even seen my friends doing it. But now that I'm a reader, I know that reading more than one book at a time is not tiresome, it is actually fun. And it is sometimes more fun compared to reading one book at a time. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into the video and discuss about the books that I'm currently reading. So first things first, let me just show you the books that I'm currently reading and then we can discuss them in depth. So these are the 3 books that I'm currently reading, and I'm sure that many of you must have already guessed from the size of the 3rd book that what am I reading. So I think we can discuss these books in depth now. So the first book that I'm currently reading is To Serve With Love by E.R. Braithwaite. This is a classic and I picked this book up because I'm a teacher. I teach 11th and 12th standard, and this novel is a part of HSC board, that is a 12th standard syllabus for the students who belong to HSC board. And when I was teaching about this novel, I hadn't read it and I wasn't getting the satisfaction at all to teach about that novel. The things mentioned in the textbook were not up to the mark. So I told my students to wait. I just gave a pause to that part, that chapter, and I picked this book up. I ordered it, I picked it, and I started reading. So that's the story associated with this book. And since this is a classic, if you have read a lot of classics, then this will be quite easy for you. This is not as old and hence it is not as complex. So the language is a bit old, a bit complex, a bit twisted. It can be a bit heavy if you have not read any classics yet. But if you are used to reading classes, then this shall not be a problem for you. So what is To Serve With Love about? To Serve With Love is about the student-teacher relationship, but that's not all. The author, Mr. E.R. Braithwaite, had to face a lot of problems due to his complexion and his race. The racial discrimination that was prevalent in the Great Britain at that time. I'm absolutely unaware about the conditions now and I don't want to comment about it as well, but there was a lot of racial discrimination in the Great Britain at that time. He had also served in the Royal Air Force during the war situation, but once he left that service and he started searching for a job, he started facing discrimination again. And as he wasn't able to get any other job, he ended up taking up the job of a school teacher, but the things do not end over there as well. He gets a job in a school that admits the students that are rejected by all other schools. So they are definitely not the easiest to handle. And Mr. Braithwaite faced a lot of discrimination from the students as well. He went through a lot of insulting situations and he was insulted by his own students. But he wasn't ready to give up. He waged a war against that discrimination and he was determined to change the perspective of his students and to show them the right path. And he adopted a lot of teaching tactics. He changed his teaching techniques. And he struggled and struggled and struggled. And did he win that battle? That is what you need to find by reading this book. Now, this is an autobiographical novel. This is of course not the entire autobiography of the author right from the childhood. This is just a part of his life, but there are a lot of struggles mentioned in this book about his life, and that is what makes this book even more inspirational and even more heart-touching. So if you are a classic lover, I think that you should give it a shot. The second book that I'm currently reading is Susannah's 7 Husbands by Ruskin Bond. Finally, I was dying to pick this book up. This arrived a month ago, but since I'm currently reading a series, I was hesitant towards picking any other book up. but I thought that if I can read 2 books simultaneously, then why not 3? So I finally picked this up, and since this is a novella, I'll not take a lot of time to complete it, which is a plus point in a way, but again a bit disappointing when it comes to the length, because when it is a murder mystery and a thriller, we actually want to get to the end of it, but being a reader, I think you can understand my struggle, that I want to get to the end of it as well as I don't want it to get over. That is my struggle. But I finally picked this up and I'm extremely happy about it. So coming to the plot of this book, as the title clearly suggests, this is about Susanna, who is extremely rich, extremely beautiful, and her 7 husbands, all of whom die in mysterious circumstances. That is what the blurb says as well. And all these mysterious circumstances indicate towards Suzanne, and we start suspecting her. And that is the specialty of Ruskin Bond's writing. He has written a few lines in such a way that you start suspecting her even if you were not suspecting her in the beginning. You start suspecting her immediately after reading those lines, and I will not tell you what lines they are, because that can be a spoiler, but that is what Ruskin Bond has done in an amazing manner. I have completed the first chapter, and her first husband is already dead, and I don't know whether I was suspecting her since the beginning or I started suspecting her after I read those few lines. That is the magic that this man has created, and I think that he would have done miracles even if he would have been a thriller novelist or a murder mystery author. He has done amazing with all his other books as well, but this experience is extremely amazing, and I'm actually enjoying this book. This is creepy, and that is what is making this even more interesting. The third book that I'm reading is my love for life, and that is Harry Potter, the 5th part of Harry Potter, that is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This is actually my mom's copy. Though she speaks English better than me, she knows English better than me, she likes to read Marathi literature more than English. And that is why we have ordered all the 7 parts of Harry Potter in Marathi as well, and I have my English collection. And I was a bit skeptical when it came to reading the English translations, I mean the Marathi translation of English book, especially with all the English names in that. I love to read Marathi books, but as themselves. But I'm a bit skeptical about reading translations, but the experience has been absolutely joyful. I have completed reading all the 4 parts, and this is the 5th part that I'm currently reading, and it is extremely joyful and extremely enjoyable. I'm actually not able to put it down. I don't want to leave it, but this is the lengthiest part. This is the biggest part in the entire series, and that is why I decided to pick up other books as well along with this to make my reading experience even better. So for those people who don't know, who have been living under the rock, I'm sorry. This is Harry Potter's 5th year in Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and the dangers in his life have suddenly aggravated and elevated with the return of somebody who should not have returned to power. And you must have guessed it already. Now this year is extremely difficult for Harry compared to all other years in Hogwarts, and he is worried, he is scared, but he has to do what he has to do. But this part is extremely lengthy, hence I decided to pick up other books along with it. Yeah, and a thing to mention is that this is the least preferred books by all the Harry Potter lovers compared to all other books. But I was watching one of Daniel Radcliffe's interviews, that the actor who played Harry Potter, and he said that this is his favorite part in the entire series. So Daniel, we agree on this point. Though this is not my favorite, but I really like it, and I don't think that there is anything worth hating in this book. Though this is a bit lengthy, it is extremely interesting, and I'm really enjoying the reading experience with Harry Potter in my mother tongue. That's it. So yeah, those are all the 3 books that I'm currently reading, and I don't know when I'll be finishing all these books off. I think Susannah's 7 Husbands will be the first book that I will complete. Then To Serve with Love, and Harry Potter has a long way to go. You can see my bookmark. These are the number of pages that I'm yet to read. So this will take a lot of time, but I don't mind. I don't mind anything if it is about Harry Potter. So yeah, that is my video for today. Please let me know what is the book that you are currently reading and how is your reading experience with the book. Also, I would love to know that are you like me? Do you pick up more than one book at a time, or do you prefer reading only one book and completely relish it and get lost into it? I would love to know. Thank you for watching till the end, and you know the drill. Please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel and help me spread a lot of bookish love.